Morning, everyone. My name is Amar, and this is my partner. My name is Sean.
And my name is Alia.
And together we are here to task one of GEEC 1052. Our topic is issue A, which is digital insertion and device dependency. Although technology is very useful and has become an important part of modern learning, it is also causing many students to lose focus during lessons and spend time. Because of that, we suggest that we need to use a problem solving method to evaluate the causes and effectively before we reach the consequences on the best solution. This will help us to understand the issues in a more proper way and organized. What do you think, Shu?
Yes, I agree with you, Amma. As our method understands that technology is not a problem, the problem is how the student use it. Must look at this issue with an educator mindset so that we can solve the issue nicely and easily.
I think that is a good start. I agree with both of you. I propose we spend evaluating every perspective so that our final agreement reflects all of our voices, as required by the principle of high functioning groups. Furthermore, digital distractions is not only a problem among students, but it's also challenges for educators. Teachers need to understand students' behavior towards technology because devices are already part of our daily learning environment.
Oh, it's a great idea. Before we go further, I think that is define the word distraction clearly. Distraction is not just about students for too much. It is how this device puts students away from the academic engagement and reduce their attention to the lessons. Not just the lesson, their tasks and their responsibilities. In other words, students may be physically present in class, but their minds may be on the other side of the classes. Presentation.
And thirdly, Amma, see students as difficult mentally they are somewhere else because of their skill.
I agree with both of you. I think we should also discuss how dependency means students feel they cannot function without their devices. Nowadays, some students depend on technology for communication, entertainment, and learning. Therefore, when they cannot access their devices, they feel uncomfortable or unable to focus in their learning.
Okay, before we move on, let's focus on our structure of the discussion. The discussion is about effect, causes, positives, and finally our negotiation to the solution. I think structure is important because it allows us to examine the issues by step instead of making a quick judgment. By following this order, we can present a stronger and more convincing discussion that is based on analysis rather than assumption. Do you agree with me?
Yes, I solely agree with Amma. This structure will help us demonstrate intellectual evidence and also you agree with me, Alia.
Yes, I agree with you, Sure. By following this structure, we can analyze this issue from different perspectives. So let's discuss the reasons behind this issue.
Okay. First, let's discuss the causes of this problem. One major causes is social media. Social media addiction is maybe many students do spend too much time on the screen watching social media like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and many other social media that make them lose focus on the study. And maybe they are unstable because they watch their screen too long. As a result, students often spend more time watching short videos, making uploads, browsing content, than focusing on their students or completing their academic work.
For my perspective, this matter cost of overload. Every line of notification is a quick relief of happiness, which is very addictive toward the students. Students start to enjoy past rewards more than studying, which is more time and effort.
Um, and one more reason, there is also the fear of missing out, and it's quite trending among teenagers, also known as FOMO. Students worry about missing any trends or messages, so they constantly check their phones to stay updated and connected with their friends. So I agree with Amma and Sio. Uh, the students' technology habits are influenced by their daily behavior. So as a result, students keep switching between studying and checking their phones, which affects their concentration.
I agree with what's of your opinion. Therefore, I think another major or important causes is online games. And this is some kind of entertainment from maybe cell phones or laptop, which can make people to spread of time very easily. Games such as Mobile Legends, Call of Duty, and Valorant or something like that. I think this kind of games or playing are exciting and competitive. So students may become less and may become too absorbed to the games and this entertainment. For them, maybe this make them more focusing on the games and start to forget their homework and their study. So their studying, such as they don't make any revision to the homework or to the study, so they can consist from their maybe academic or maybe their exam and maybe their result maybe drop or something like that. Do you agree with me?
And I agree with you, Amma. And also, I have noticed similar problem dependence on AI and Google, such as popular engineering. Instead of thinking or solve the problem by themselves, some students take shortcuts just searching for unnecessary answers. For example, students may use AI to complete the assignment or tutorial given by teacher or lecturer, just copying and pasting the answer without understanding the knowledge of it. This causes students to rely too much on the technology which is behind Google.
Um, Other than that, don't forget about the constant notifications. I agree with Amar's opinion that technology is needed for learning, but at the same time, it can create distractions. Even when students are trying to study, the sound of notification can immediately interrupt their focus, which is therefore they often check their phones because they do not want to miss any messages or updates from their friends. Moreover, constant notifications can create a habit where students feel uncomfortable when they are away from their devices.
Said that, I think we should mention, we should also mention that technology is now needed for schoolwork. So students often use one of the devices or both for learning and entertainment. Since we use laptops, tablets, and phones for assignment, research and communication, the temptation to switch from education legs to games, videos, or social media always there. This makes it harder for students to stay focused and can cause them to make much longer to complete the assignment than they should, than the due date given. Do you agree with me, Shah?
Yes, I agree with you, Amma. In addition, students may use device to escape stress or the if a lesson is hard, the student will just look at the screen for a quick comfort, and also they won't be stressed. And for example, the student will play online games such as PUBG, PUBG, when teacher or lecturer are teaching are talking in front of the class. Because they want to use this method to escape stress, which is they don't understand the knowledge they are teaching. Over time, they may rely on device instead of learning healthy ways to deal with emotions.
So I see it is a combination of habits, brain responses, and convenience of having everything in one devices. So therefore, a student need to know how to manage their technology uh, usage so that devices can support their learning rather than become a distraction for them.
Okay, let's go to another, maybe another process. Let's look at the effect of digital distraction and the device dependency. The most immediate effect is reduced concentration. Students find it difficult to focus during maybe for a long lesson, and their attention becomes shorter, and they because they keep checking their phones or switching between tasks. Over time, over time, this thing weakens their ability to follow instruction, maybe to focus in their class, or maybe something like that that can causes their academically and things like that. I think so.
Yes, I agree with you. This is because multitasking is a myth. The brain cannot focus on two tasks at the same time. It just switches back and forth between the study and checking the boards. It will cause the students remember less information and understand less. The students who are distracted by device often get the low grades in examination and also the learning quality become lower. Do you agree with me?
Yes, I totally agree with Show's point. This lead to illusion of being productive. A student might sit with a book for 3 hours, but because of their phone interruptions, such as replying the messages and scrolling through social media, they may only complete 30 minutes of real work and consequently, students may submit their assignments late and fail to understand the learning materials.
Um, okay, I agree with both of your opinion. Uh, because of that, I think effects this leads to poor academic performance. Concentration is reduced because of the excesses of using the maybe gadget, maybe such as smartphone, tablet, or maybe laptop. Uh, Students may not revise their academic, like revise their studying, their tasks, and something like that. Maybe it can causes the work to be late or struggle to understand what they have been studying in the school or what their teacher have been teach them. As a result, their performance in the examination and examiner can suffer because they are not spending much time in study because maybe they put too much time in their gadget to play games or watching some videos and everything. Mhm.
Yes, I agree with you, Amma. Furthermore, digital platforms can create shorter attention spans. Modern digital platforms, especially short-form video applications such as TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Instagram Reels, are designed to deliver rapid and highly stimulating content within a second. Fast-paced videos train the brain to expect quick entertainment and activity leading to boring. For instance, students who are spent several hours scrolling through short videos may find it to difficult to concentrate in the 30 minutes reading assignment or reading class.
And socially, I think it also can affect someone's social skill. It leads to weak their social skills. In addition, for the academic effects mentioned earlier, we should also consider communication skills. Many students prefer texting or messaging rather than having a face-to-face communication or discussions. As a result, some students may struggle to express their opinion confidently during discussions because they are less exposed to real life communication.
In both factors, is a good opinion, and I must agree with you. But I think another negative effect of digital distraction is poor sleeping habits. Many students use their phone late at night. For example, they use their phone at 12 o'clock AM, and maybe after that, such as 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, or maybe higher. Uh, they use they use their phone maybe to play with their friend or chat with their friend maybe. That can that can make their sleeping time maybe not balanced. Because when they sleep, the focus maybe lose a bit I think more because of this effect. So I think this can disrupt their sleeping routine and make them feel tired the next day. Uh, when students does not get enough rest, they are less alert, not motivated, not focused in their class, and maybe they're not hearing what the teachers say in their classes. Do you agree with me, Shu?
As I agree with you, Amma, this study can lead to less classroom participation. When the students are tired, they may lack of energy or motivation to quickly engage in the lessons. They may be less willing to answer the questions, contribute to discussion, and interact with teacher and classmates. As a result, students may miss valuable learning opportunity and become less involved in the classroom environment. Do you agree with Anya?
Yes, I agree with both of your opinion. Finally, there is more stress or anxiety from this effect because digital distraction can affect students academically and emotionally. When students spend too much time on entertainment, they will delay assignments and revision until last minute. So, therefore, they more pressure and less confident in completing their academic tasks.
Okay, let's move to another topic. Today, such as we have been taught about the negative effect of the technology. I think we should mention the positive effect of the technology. That technology can also provide many benefits for the student. One major advantage is easy for them to access maybe information for their study and something else. Students can search for articles, videos, and research material much faster than going to the library to get a book or something like that. Uh, so, in addition, technology supports personalized learning because software can adjust to a student's level and speed, which is especially helpful for the student that need extra time to study and to maintain their studying with other people. Do you agree with me?
Yes, I agree with you, Amma. This assessment learning more interesting through the interactive educational platforms such as IPG-Pelajar. And this platform helps students to understand concepts through quizzes, animation, and also interactive content. And as a result, the lesson become more enjoyable and the increase students' motivation to learn a new topic. Do you agree with Anya?
Yeah, I totally agree with both of you. Tools like Google Docs also enable better teamwork by allowing us to collaborate on a project in a real time, just like we use for discussion. Uh, and however, we must address digital inequality because not every student has access to the good internet or the latest devices. So this can affect their learning opportunities. Besides that, students need to evaluate online information carefully because not everything available on the internet is accurate.
Okay, I think this is also personalized learning, which is one of the strongest advantage in the technology. Uh, Software can adapt to a student's level, give immediate feedback, and allows learners to review their lessons repeatedly and until they understand them. This will help students who need extra support and maybe also makes learning more flexible, different learning more flexible for different types of students or learners. Sure.
Yes, I agree with you, Amma. Additionally, using the platform such as Google Meet and Zoom for a group discussion without meeting physically, such as in a classroom or a library. This saves our time and also allow group members to communicate and work together more efficiently, regardless of their location.
Um, From my perspective, I agree that technology is makes learning more flexible. However, we must remember that not all students have the same access to digital resources. Therefore, school need to ensure that technology is used fairly, so every student has equal opportunities to learn.
Okay, we have been talked about negative effect, the positive effect. Now let's look at our first major solution. Some people strongly suggest a total smartphone ban in schools. It is because they think it can help students to regain their focus. According to our discussion, students can concentrate better without constant notification, interrupting their lessons, and can also reduce problems like cyberbullying, cheating during exams, and unauthorized photo or videos being taken in class. For that reason, I think strict ban is the most direct way to solve this solution. What do you think?
From my perspective, I understand your point, Amma, but I disagree with what Dr. that smartphones are now a part of our everyday life, and we need to consider digital literacy. If we completely ban them, we lose the opportunity to teach the students how to use technology efficiently and responsibly for their future careers. And also, we cannot ignore parental and also safety concerns. Many parents feel they need to able to contact their children during emergency and also to coordinate the pick up times after school. We should be teaching habits, not creating barriers.
Yes. I agree with Show's point. We must remember that mobile devices are also useful learning in a modern classroom. For example, smartphone allows students to scan QR codes for search their information quickly, and we also can join interactive quizzes such as Kahoot. Therefore, completely removing technology may also remove valuable learning opportunities in the classroom.
Okay, based on your first opinion, let's say if the total ban is too extreme, then how about we prioritize non-digital learning more often? Uh, we can use handwriting notes that can improve memory because students need to summarize information in their own words. So they can maybe make their focus better. Uh, and I think this method is better than copying some text from the maybe AI or Google. So I think reading printed book can also support people focus because there are no screen distraction or notifications. What do you guys think?
It's true that those activities like using digital blocks for math and also face-to-face storytelling, which can really improve the critical thinking and creativity of a student. However, we must face the limits of non-digital learning. Researching in the library is significantly slower than researching online, and the fully non-digital classroom also not do not prepare the students for the job market that requires spreadsheet and also the online tools. Plus, digital tools provide essential support for the student learning technologies such as speech and also the adjustable forms, which is the disposable method of work.
Yes, I agree with both of your opinions because digital and non-digital learning have their own advantages. Therefore, I think the best solution is finding a balance. We do not need to ban technology completely, but we must control how it is used. So we need smart school policies where phones are kept away until the teachers ask to use the phone for the learning purpose. So furthermore, parents should also become role models by setting limits at home, such as avoiding phone usage when they are going to bed before sleeping. So students should practice self-control by managing their own screen time and reducing unnecessary notifications. So in this way, we can combine the benefits of technology with the focus of traditional learning.
Okay, now we have come to the conclusion. Based on our conversation before, can we agree that student responsibility is most important part in the solution? Students should be, students should learn to manage their own focus by using techniques such as the Pomodoro techniques or to do not disturb mode in their device. I think these strategies can help them study in shorter, more focused session and reduce their maybe unnecessary interruption from notifications. What do you think?
Yes, I support that, Ahmad. A successful solution requires cooperation between schools, parents, and students. If everyone works together, I think that this issue can be managed efficiently as a piece of what do you think, Daniel?
Yes, I do agree with both of you. Our consensus is smart policies over total bans in the technology. We use technology as tools and not a toys. And technology should help students improve their learning and not distract their own responsibilities.
To conclude, we have analyzed that one factors such as dopamine loop and FOMO can cause distraction. The best solution is a balanced digital literacy and personal discipline. We should not reject technology, but we must use it balancedly and wisely. With the right habits and proper guidance, technology can be a support for learning instead of controlling students' daily routines and maybe make them more distracted from their academic and make their academic worse. What do you think?
Yes, we have to consider the dividends and agree that students need proper guidance to use technology effectively. With the right approach to technology and support better learning experience. Do you agree with me, Aya?
Yes, I do agree with both of your opinion, and it's a great perspective. This has been a meaningful discussion. So, and we have successfully reached a consensus that support both technology and focus learning. So, our final agreement shows that devices should be used as a helpful tools rather than distractions. So by working together as a parents, students, teachers, we can ensure that technology improves academic performance and create a better learning environment. So thank you everyone. That's all for our discussion. Bye.
Thank you.